All right, back on the show is Alex Hernandez. What a performance he had this past Saturday at UFC Vegas 12. Knocks out Chris Gruetzemacher in the first round, just under 2 minutes of octagon time, and got an extra 50 G's for his troubles. Alex, welcome back, man. How are you?
What's up, dude? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. The last time you were on, we discussed all the changes that you had made, and I asked you if it felt like this was going to be your UFC debut all over again, and it was something that you hadn't really thought about, but it seemed like that's how you approach this fight in a lot of ways, from the walkout to the actual performance itself. Is that accurate?
Oh, 1,000%, dude. Yeah, it was something special, just to kind of enjoy myself, and definitely set apart from any other performance I've ever had. So I definitely felt like, it was a UFC debut kind of moment, coming out party to myself,
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it all began sort of with the battle of the walkout songs, because Chris walked out to More Human Than Human by White Zombie. Excellent choice. But you came out first to Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, man. It was
we had
crazy.
A whole different groove, baby. Yeah, grooving to my own drum on that one. Yeah, that was definitely a fun vibe for sure. And I couldn't help but smile, man. Like I'm walking out, and that I found that song being just kind of like I don't know, sort of a source of joy for me as I would be getting ready for our heavy sparring days on Fridays. There's a period where I was listening to like just a bunch of gangster shit and trying to get hyped up. I listened to a ton of audiobooks, but on the way to practice or whatever, I was real tense. And then when I came back from that Abu Dhabi trip, kind of flipped the switch and stopped over stressing everything so much and taking it all so seriously, and started having more fun on my way to the gym and in the gym. And like that song was like a bit of a catalyst for that too. And so started kind of like just swaying more and jamming more and having more fun. And so when that came on, I just couldn't help but laugh. It was cool.
Did you just like hear it on the radio one day on the way to practice? You're like, oh man, this is cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know music, bro. Okay.
All right.
That's the most universally beloved song probably of all time. So, but no, I like Fleetwood a lot, and like kind of like Tom Petty and just some like easy jams. And so I always kind of circulate them, but they were just hitting a little different this time, and just I don't know. It was just really sending a trickle down my spine of positivity. So I was running with it.
So you're kind of an old soul at heart, deep down.
A bit. Yeah, definitely eclectic for sure.
So, your actual debut was just this like flurry of chaos, and you put Beneil Dariush away in a matter of seconds. This fight, there's a lot of patience. You took some, you gave some, then you had him hurt, and you took your time and put him away at your own pace. How important was it to have that calculated yet pacey sort of patience to your approach?
Yeah, kind of like a poised explosiveness is what I've been trying to like hone in on, and definitely just calculated for sure, man. That was the most calculated I've ever felt, and composed and cerebral. Like you said, the Dariush fight was just kind of like an explosion, that really worked out well for me. But it wasn't something that can just be replicated all the way to the top, whereas this is something that can be replicated to the top, and I feel really good about that. And then not stressing about like, if he made contact on something like a leg kick, I wasn't worried about it, or like if I let a jab touch me or something, I felt they were insignificant, and I was using it as intel, as opposed to getting upset with myself that I got touched at all, or why am I letting this or that happen? So just keeping a cooler head on my shoulders for sure.
Yeah, and it translated even after the fight, because, you won fights in the octagon before, you've had finishes before, but this one, you just sort of basked in it. Like, you soaked it all in. You didn't go crazy, like, raw, but you just sort of, like, smiled and was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, how different did the aftermath feel compared to those other fights?
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because that's exactly what I felt like kind of transcended over me, where, normally, I didn't feel like jumping on the ring of the cage, like I just kind of felt like, all right, that was like, I felt like Tiger Woods, when he just like hits that birdie, he's like, and I just felt, that's how I felt. I just felt like that, just like, just composed and cool about it, and on to the next one, like let's get the next one under our belt, just keep moving.
Yeah, like it just seemed like all those stresses that have been weighing you down in the past, they just sort of floated away. It was very Zen-like in victory.
Yeah, I think that was probably it too. Like what you just said is that if you carry too much going into it, you get done, you're like, oh fuck, like, woo, yeah, fuck yeah, that's done, But I didn't feel like that, because I was having a good time going into it, and I had a cool head, and then during the process I did too. So then afterwards, I I guess it only makes sense that you just kind of maintain that that ease about you and that coolness. And so, it was just pretty even tempered.
What was bigger for you, winning the fight or sort of winning that battle with the chip on your shoulder? Because that's something you've had a constant battle with throughout your career. Like, you may not have fully defeated it, but you certainly used it to your advantage on Saturday.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing, and even my grandparents love him to death. They were like, Mijo, this was such a big win for you because, despite anything else, you conquered those inner demons essentially, and that's 1,000% it. I felt like I finally aligned, all the chaos in my mind with, what I wanted to act upon. And so that was the biggest victory for me, was just being able to compose myself, because like the fights that I had fought in the past, like that Dober loss, like it didn't take Dober to beat that guy. That guy could have lost to anybody that night, and so that's why I was upset. And like that, the guy on Saturday, that guy could have beat anybody. And so, it's more about, the internal battle that was waged. And I feel really good about that. I feel in a cool place all around. Like I said, that kind of that Zen daddy right now. So I feel good.
Yeah. Cause I mean, I know that's been something you've been working on, trying to, be more sort of cerebral and have that battle mental. Like even going into the Trinaldo fight, that was something that, was very important to you. But I feel like you've I don't know if you took the step in that fight, you were proud of the performance and some of the things you were able to do, but this one was just like a totally different ballgame.
Right. And that goes to the coaching and the preparation of the team, because in the Trinaldo one, I was trying to get on that level, but I didn't know how to technically, put it into practice as far as, adjusting the stance and the entries and developing a game. It's just kind of like, okay, well, let's just be really cool and let's try to skate around this or that. And but I didn't realize maybe how to execute the same. And then after working with just some wizards, this guy out in Oregon, this Roots Fitness guy who's just kind of like a life coach, doesn't even mean to be, but he's this mobility farmer. I talked to him, and then he's the guy's guy who I was working with in New Braunfels before with the ponytail and shit. So he's like that Yoda. And then also just Mark, working with Mark Montoya every day in Abu Dhabi and having some really good talks with him, some one-on-ones with him, and him teaching me like that platform to build on, that I can like develop my game where I can like maintain that, I can recover from it, and I can explode from it as well, as opposed to always being in that like fight or flight state that I was fighting in before. It's like now Mark taught me how to like put that actually into practice, and then I get my head right. Now I have kind of like the platform to actually move on, how to enter and exit, and yes, now it's just coming all together better. Now that I have like a UFC coach and team, which is just something I didn't have before.
One thing that I also noticed, no callouts. I mean, Alex 1.0 would have probably had a name or two ready to shout out from the rooftops, but this time your only callout was for the cashola. Like, you want to make that cheese, as you said on Saturday, and the name doesn't matter, man. Like, again, another change that you made. It had to have been nice to just focus on one thing and not have to have like some sort of fiery promo in the background ready for after the fight, right?
Yeah, you know what? That's so funny you said that too. Yeah, like not really prepping anything, like, okay, here's how, if I do it like this, and this is who I want to call, and et cetera, it's just kind of like, being very present, just being super present in the interviews after and in the moment, and like even now, but yeah, I definitely changed like the trajectory of what I want to do and how I want to do it. Before it was just like, you got to race to the top and get there and, just fuck everyone along the way. And now I don't feel that same kind of hostility or even like urgency. I'm very like very ambitious, and like I need to execute on time. And I was having a hard time this year, especially approaching my birthday, because like I hold such high expectations for myself every year. And like, this was the first year in a long time where I was like, man, I don't think that like I've accomplished what I've like set out to accomplish this year, and I feel like I'm just behind on like time and everything else. And I was like kind of in a bit of a slump, and that was during that Abu Dhabi period. And Mark's like, nah, dude, like you don't even realize what like extraordinary changes you've made this year and the decisions that you've made that are going to alter the course of your life, and like the evolutions that are taking place even right now. And just because it hasn't been manifested in a fight or anything else doesn't mean that this hasn't been like an extraordinary year already. And then having that win translate over, just kind of proves that. And that's like, this is just a really cool, thing to kind of manifest and see come to fruition. So I just want to keep developing, keep building. Like I said, keep making money because I got a good contract now, and I want to keep that growing. And so, I want to make some good money this year. I want to get another fight in, and I want to have another excellent performance. I want to keep growing myself, and then next year I want to accomplish even more. But it's not a race to the title until the title, presents itself.
You don't have to answer this. You could tell me to kick rocks. But was this with the bonus and everything? Was this a 6-figure night for you?
150 grand, baby.
Oh, okay.
150 grand, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, we can load the bin up with rocks, baby, and run it together. Yeah, we're making good money. So cash out on another one of those in 6 weeks, and I'm pretty happy for the year. You know what I mean?
It's the best minute 41 of your life.
Best minute 41 ever for sure. Yeah, just because of the mind and everything else. So that was cool. And it was like a perfect execution of what we've been working. So I was happy with it. There's always things to clean up. Like I'm looking at all the things I need to tighten up off that performance, but I'm happy with it for sure. Something I haven't said I've been proud of like a performance in a long time, and that's one of them. So.
You did have your name spoken on Saturday. Thiago Moises called you and Cowboy Cerrone.
I heard something about that later.
Yeah, I mean, this obviously isn't the first time you've been called out, but this is this is Alex 2.0. This is a new era. Did you like? How did you react to that? And once you found out about it?
Oh, it's exciting because I was looking at him the whole week and truthfully giving him no respect at all. But I like the matchup. I think it's a super great fight, and I was talking to my manager actually about it already, and we're playing with the idea of that or. Because we both just fought, the way that the matchups would go. If I was trying, I really want to get one in like December 19th card. And so he was saying, because you both fought on the same card, the likelihood of you both fighting again on that would be unlikely. It'd probably be like you fill in for someone who's been trying to get a fight throughout the course of the year because there's so many guys trying to get in, right? So he's like, you'll probably have to fight one more, and then you'd probably fight like Moises or if that's who you want or whoever. I was like, that sounds great. That sounds perfect. So we'll fight whoever, and then I'll take Moises out at the start of next year, and then probably hit like one of these 15 guys again, and just keep climbing, dude. But it's I'm really just like enjoying the process now, like, and like I said, just like kind of not taking my time, but making my time count and be worth something. Getting paid what I'm worth. So, Moises is definitely on the radar. I'm positive we'll be fighting each other pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, you get to sort of like grow up in the UFC again. You didn't get the chance to do that the first time around.
Right, exactly. And that's just it. I want to develop my skills. I want to develop all these things that I'm working on, and not just feel pressure to take shit because of timing or whatever else. I didn't even know saying no was an option. Not that I would have, but I never say no to any fights, and that's why they gave me That's why they're giving me these opportunities and the pay and things like that, because it's like, I've been here, I've always been here, and I've always showed up. So, whatever the end of the year brings, but definitely try to get some scrap in December 19th would be awesome.
There is one question I've been dying to ask you since the weekend, and I got Adrian Yanez's opinion on it, but I saw the photos on social media. Where did you get that suit, man, that you wore for the after festivities at your manager's house? I think it was crazy.
The dope suit, dude. You get the green light on that suit?
That's awesome.
It's so my manager works with a company called Fine Line Threads. Custom suits, they're badass, man. They're badass. I'll put a link up actually on that photo. I'll tag them, and so you can check it out. But yeah, they put me with some pretty gangster ass suits. Yeah,
there's a lot of good knockouts. Adrian's knockout was pretty sick too. He said you had some kind words for him. Yeah, he looked great. I mean, that's what was so crazy about that card. It was like everyone was getting finishes, and I'm like, fuck, man, like you guys chill out. And I thought for sure the co-main event with Philly and Mitchell was going to get a fight of the night or a performance bonus. So I was pretty relieved when it didn't do either. And I guess they just threw out 4 performance bonuses that night, right? And then I was looking at it. I thought there was a good chance I get it because I thought I had the nastiest one, but. There were just so many finishes, Any cornering in your future? Like I know Royval's got a big one coming up against Brandon Moreno. Are you looking to keep this cornering winning streak intact?
Oh yeah, the boys are back in town, baby. November 17th, we're at it, dude. Back in Vegas. I think the fight's on the 21st. And so yeah, we're going back out there again. I'm fucking stoked. I can't wait for that fight, dude. You already know how excited I am. So, and it's always just such a good time. Like me and Brandon have such a good time, and we get great work. And then being with Coach, that's when I involved the most. Just our one-on-one sessions. So we're super tight. It'll be a great week. Super successful week.
Has he talked to you about sort of, I mean, because he's just on this unbelievable surge in 2020, like jumped in against a top 15 guy, got a quick finish, jumped in against a top 10 guy, got another quick finish. Now he's like a fight, maybe 2 away from fighting for the belts. Like if he wins this fight, he's right there. Has he talked to you about like trying to stay composed with all this since you've been through kind of both sides of it?
Yeah, man. He's not getting talked about enough because he's on the craziest trajectory out of anybody right now in the UFC. I can't think of a single person. Chimev's obviously does some pretty impressive shit. He's on the hype, but like Brandon's got 2 bonuses and finished 2 top 10 guys on his 2 first fights, and now he's about to fight the number 1 contender, and that's fucking insane, dude. And yeah, it's all like if you stop and overthink it too much, I bet it could become pretty overwhelming. But he does a pretty good job of just like always getting back to work, back on the grindstone. Like we always joke because if one of us is in the gym and the other one's not getting a session, it's like, I joked about how he was like, oh, you can start fucking coaching Kai Car France now too? Like, he's just not going to invite me to these sessions? It's like we're always competing against each other. I think me and him more than anybody else. We're always competing against each other on who's getting more work in. And, like if I'll be doing like privates or work outside of like maybe a group class or something, but I'm not there in that group class. And, I'll get a text like, oh, hey, the rest of us are just out here getting better. It's not like you don't have a fight in a couple of weeks. Like, dude, fuck you, bro. I'm busy doing work right now. Okay, just because you don't see me doesn't mean I'm not working. But no, we always stay hungry. We stay push each other. And I think that he realizes where he's at right now. Like what it showed him is that he just should have been here a long time ago. And that's the perspective to hold, not the perspective where it's like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm already here. I'm already, against this guy. It's like, wow, I should have been doing this a long time ago because I'm taking all the cookies. I'm eating your guys' lunch right now, and it's coming easy. So, I think we're just keeping grounded, and everything's moving so quick that we don't really have time to stop and overthink anything. It's just another opponent, another date.
Yeah, Brandon Royval with confidence is a scary individual because he's never really had that before. He's always questions himself, like, do I even belong here? And now it seems like he's starting to get there. But once he gets there, geez Louise.
Yeah, he's just such a psychopath in general, dude. Because that guy, like, I didn't see it so much this last fight, but he was saying how it'll be like an emotional roller coaster in the back, and then inevitably he always just goes out there and pops the fuck off, like. So he might even have some tears in his eye, dude. If I'm standing across and that guy's like hiking his shorts up the way he does, all ghetto and gangster and shit, and he's got like some tears coming down his face, I'm freaking the fuck out, dude. I'm like, okay, what is this guy about to do? And so no matter what, he just shows up. He just shows up. So this will definitely be a dogfight, another 50K for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But congratulations to you, Alex. Great performance again. Glad to see you in a great place, taking advantage of this quasi career refresh, and enjoy the holidays, man. Not too much because you want to get on that December 19th card, but we'll talk soon, man.